Belhaven-based Scottish Club Handicap Championship is Scotland's biggest participation golf event, with only 40 teams of 2 making it through to the grand final. Getting here is an achievement in itself. The Roxburgh near Kelso on the Borders was our venue this year, a course that's used by the European Tour for qualifying school and where Sergio Garcia holds the record. It may be a new venue for this tournament, but the title sponsors have been involved for many years.
Belhaven's been supporting Scottish amateur golf for a long time. We've been sponsors of the SGU for 14 years and we're really proud of that association. Belhaven's a pint enjoyed by many golfers up and down the country, and so this is our way of supporting them in their favourite pastime. Belhaven currently supplies around about 200 golf clubs in Scotland, right across east to west, north to south. We've got very long relationships as well with a lot of those clubs. We're a very proud Scottish brewer, although we do of course export all over the world, and we know that golf's one thing that brings the eyes of the world into Scotland. So having that association both in our homeland and extended throughout the world is just terrific. So with the Ryder Cup, the Scottish Open and the Open all on our doorstep in the next 12 months, it's onward and upwards for Belhaven with Scottish golf.
Exciting times indeed, and on with some exciting action from the day. Jim Murphy here from Crowwood, holing out nicely on the 16th, and the Crowwood team, helped by that, finished in a tie for 4th with a nice team score of 6 under. Out to the 3rd now, Gary Jordan from Crosshouse. This was his approach on the 350-yard par 4. Very nice stuff. Unfortunately, it wasn't their day though. They finished in a tie for 29th at 1 over par. Back to 16, Stuart Gallagher from Clydebank and District. Well, we saw him with a chip earlier. He converted. Nice up and down, but again, not a great score from the boys from Clydebank and District. 4 over, tie for 34th. Now out to the par 3 4th, around about 180 yards. This is Drew Latta from Kirkhill. And just making it over the water there, rolling up. Not too far away from the hole at all. Good attempt. But it wasn't Kirkhill's day either. Despite that nice tee shot, they finished 5 over and a tie for 36th. Now Gordon Cameron from Greenock out the bunker here at the 4th. Well, making amends for a slightly wayward tee shot. Very nicely done. They finished 3 under par and a tie for 17th. Still at the 4th with a team that was going along very nicely. The team from Colville Park. This is Gavin Danskin with his birdie attempt from just off the green. Looking for a 2. Well, he came up short, but these two were very steady. Gavin there playing alongside Ross Livingston. Ross is the one with those trousers. This was him at 18. Looking to hole out to save par. In it went. And a very tidy score from the Colville Park team. 6 under par and a tie for 4th. Back to the 4th hole with the Bathgate team now. This is Scott McClory. This is one of the nicest tee shots we saw here all day. Floating it up right over the flag. Very aggressive stuff there from Scott. Question was, could he convert the birdie putt? Well, he was aggressive with his tee shot, but not so much with the putt. Bang on line, but coming up short. As it was, the Bathgate team finished at 5 under and a tie for 6th. Now, watch those nettles. It's not a day to be wading around in the nettles and brambles when you've got shorts on. Doesn't seem to bother. Ian Clark from Earlsgate, though, chipping on nicely at 17. And they finished in a tie for 17th at 3 under par. The team from Earlsgate. Also at 17, John McRae from Cramond rolling in a birdie putt. Very nice. Helping his team to a final total of 4 under par and a tie for 11th. Now still at 17, further back down the fairway. Here we have Scott Cook, part of the Kinross team. And this was his approach, very nice. Well, it couldn't have been like that all the way around. They finished tie 27th and 1 under par. Now the Errols Ferry team. Here we have George Glenn. And this was his approach at 17. And also some really nice golf being played. The greens being fairly receptive. And Well, Elsferry finished at 4 under and a tie for 11th. Now out to 18, Paul Campbell from Hursall. This was his approach shot. And very nice. Good form all the way around from the Hursall team. They finished at 5 under and a tie for 6th place. No wonder with approach play like that. Also at 18, just short of the water, Richard Napier. Well, it looks like a dropout perhaps. But making up for it, look at that. Magnificent shot from Richard, playing for the Kilsyth Lennox team. They finished at 3 under and a tie for 17th. Well, that was one way to get across the water. Ian Jones from Greenock deciding to try and aim for the bridge. I wouldn't recommend it. It's a big old slope to get up, even if you do get through the bricks and mortar. Go for a slightly more orthodox approach now. Bill Key from East Renfrewshire. And another magnificent approach shot. Look at that. Although the team finished down in a tie for 32nd. Up onto the green, Richard Martin from Cardrona. A lengthy birdie putt. Well, quite a break on that as well, but right in the middle. Beautiful stuff. Birdie net eagle there for Richard. And Cardrona finished at 5 under par with the help of that net eagle, finishing in a tie for 6th. Also 18 from Killin, Andy Cousins. This too, a birdie putt. Oh, very nicely done. No stroke for Andy though, so that just stayed a birdie. They finished at 4 under and a tie for 11th. Good effort on the day though. Back down the fairway, Campbell Donaldson from downfield. This was his approach, and what a beauty. Yeah, beautiful stuff there from Campbell. The downfield team finishing at -1 and a tie for 27th. Now from Kenmore, William Hill. No jokes about betting, please. But a very nice par net birdie there for William. Kenmore finishing at 4 under, tied for 11th. Back down the fairway, and well, daylight was beginning to fade a little by this point. This is Bruce Thompson from Spey Bay. And another magnificent approach. Well, the golfer's really getting the measure of this course. And he would hold that for a birdie and finish at 5 under and a tie for 6th. The Spey Bay team. They were out with Dullator. And this is Neil Murray from Dullator. And usually you would say he would be delighted with that shot. Slightly outshone by Bruce. But Neil also hold his putt for a birdie. The team from Dullator finishing tied 11th at 4 under. Now Mark Anderson from Wigton and Bladnoch. He too hold out for a par. And Wigton and Bladnoch finishing at 5 under and a tie for 6th. But what about the top 3 teams? Well, I can tell you they all tied at 7 under par. And it was all down to the count back. Mark Ryan here from Cruden Bay on the 3rd with a beautiful approach from behind the tree. He showed some nice form. His teammate from Cruden Bay, by the time they got up to the 18th, Les Durno, he had this for a par net birdie. And it went. They finished at -7. Tied for the best score of the day, but on count back, finishing in 3rd place. The team in 2nd was the team from Old Meldrum. Colin Scott here on the 17th with a magnificent approach shot right over the flag. Rolling back a touch. Well, the secret of good team scoring is to dovetail. Perhaps that was the difference between finishing narrowly in 2nd place and the outright victory, because Alan Gordon, his teammate, well, if one of you is that close, you should be saving an even better shot perhaps for another hole. But very impressive iron play from both Colin and Alan. And Colin holing out on the last for a nice par net birdie. Like I say, they too finished on 7 under par. Tying the best score of the day, but finishing 2nd in a count back. Our winners, though, were the team from Polmont, brothers Campbell and John McIntosh. Here's Campbell out at 16. Just missing out his birdie putt. And, well, from the footage we saw from Polmont, the brothers deserving of their victory. Although it was only on a count back, they had several chances. where they could have scored lower. This is John's approach at 18. Very nicely done. And up onto the green. Well, again, this would have been a one-shot victory. He wasn't to know that at the time. But the birdie attempt just coming up short. But in the end, it was good enough for victory for the McIntosh brothers from Polmont. And winning the biggest event in Scottish golf. Well, what's the secret?
The secret was we bogeyed 8 and 9. And we were 2 under par scratch after 7. Bogeyed 8 and 9, and at 10th tee we just says, let's go for it. And we did.
We played well. We honestly didn't think we'd get that, and the back 9 has done it for us, the inward half, you know. So it shows you that it was a wee bit luck in the end as well, you know. So.
Helps when because we're players, we're competitive as well. So we don't like the other one to brag that the other one carried each other. So we're kind of competing against each other while we're partnering each other. Does that make sense?
And what do our 2014 champions make of the venue for this year's grand final?
The Roxburgh speaks for itself. I mean, it's a renowned place. It's a top 5 in Scotland. You know, it's the standard. The course is phenomenal. I mean, we struggle at times. The green's very fast, and but we hold a few putts, and that was the difference in the end. You know.
Congratulations to this year's champions, John and Campbell McIntosh from Polmont.